last video, we looked at how to write a resolution. And while the structure is really important, you need to know how to understand and address the resolution's topic. To do that, you need to research. At the opening ceremony of my first MUN conference, I saw a video of an older delegate giving advice on MUN. He said, in MUN, even if you think you have nothing to say, say it anyway. And he's right. Confidence is essential in MUN. At the same time, however, being successful in debate is much more than confidence. It requires being informed and prepared. Coming prepared will also make the debate more enjoyable, because you will understand what is happening and will be able to contribute. Because of that, I want to give you some tips about what you have to research for MUN and where you can find the information that you need. Firstly, let's start with what's important to research. The research you do falls mainly into 3 categories: research on your country, research on the conflict you're trying to solve, and research on your course of action. And since MUMers love acronyms, let's call this the CCC method. Doing research on your country helps in debate because there will often be a delegate who challenges you on your policy. When you get up and put yourself in front of your committee, you should know what you're talking about and should have the knowledge to respond. If you already know a lot about your country, of course you don't need to research it as much. But the point is that you should be aware of your country's history, economy, geography, and what kind of relation it has with the other countries. The second C is research on the conflict. This is important because MUN is about solving problems. To come up with effective solutions, you have to understand the problem. In order to do so, you follow a few steps: finding the underlying problem, understanding the problem, and understanding the relative benefits and drawbacks of possible solutions. Finally, the third C, understanding your country's course of action, is important because it is your task to represent it. Part of MUN is understanding other people's viewpoints. You will often represent countries whose policies are completely opposite to those of your own personal beliefs. A common example of this is a Western student representing North Korea. The point here is that you need to understand your country's policy if you want to represent it. Before a conference, become aware of the big picture, your country's goals and interests in relation to the issue, and what it has recently done to address the issue, and what countries it is planning to support or oppose. Say you're a delegate representing Turkey in the General Assembly, and you're debating the question of the Syrian refugee crisis. You probably need some information about the country, Turkey, the conflict or issue, the Syrian refugee crisis, and the course of action, whatever the Turkish government thinks should be done. Now that we've talked about the 3 C's of research, let's turn our attention to the second part of how to research: where to find this information. It is tempting to only use Wikipedia, but as one of my directors once said, Wikipedia is a great resource to start researching, but not to finish with. Wikipedia is great for understanding the general information about an issue. If you really want to participate in debate at a high level, you should look for a few other sources with more in-depth information, such as an UN or NGO reports, the CIA fact book, and news articles from critically acclaimed journalistic sources. Also, as a general rule, prioritize .gov or .edu websites for more reliable information. Finally, if you're attending a conference, be sure to see if the conference provides research reports that introduce the issue of debate. To summarize, a good delegate knows both what to research and where to find good information. A delegate uses credible, journalistic, governmental, and educational sources and researches the 3 basic C's, which are again, firstly, country. You should know your country's history, its economy, geography, and relation to other countries, and other general information. Secondly, the conflict. You should find the underlying conflict, understand it, and know possible solutions. And last but not least, the course of action. You should understand your country's goals and interests, what it has done to address the conflict, and what it wants or plans to do in the future. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we will talk about the next step of being a delegate, how to lobby or caucus.